Hey guys, this is Coach Lowe, and we are starting our Chapter 1, Section 1 today. We're going to talk about points, lines, and planes. Oh my! Let's get started. So we have some undefined terms in geometry. And undefined terms means we don't have a definition for them. So we use descriptions and examples. There are 3 terms in geometry that are undefined terms, and guess what they are? Points, lines, and planes. So they are undefined terms in geometry. Which means we don't have a definition for them, but we'll use descriptions and examples so that we know what they are. All right, so let's look at those real quick. So our undefined terms are listed here. Let's see if I can get this to move down just a tad. Come on. Yeah, it doesn't want to move. All right. Okay, it's good. Okay, so a description of a point. Description of a point could be like it's a location. It doesn't have a shape or a size. Even though we put a dot to represent a point, it has neither shape nor size. All right, so how do we name it? Well, we name it with a capital letter. So let's say that I have this point R. We say point R, and we use capital letters to name points. All right, let's move on to lines. A line is made up of points. It has no thickness or width. And we also know that exactly one line goes through 2 points. So exactly one line through 2 points. All right. Move this down just a little bit. So you have that advantage too because you have a table in your notebook that you can move around. So you can make those wider too if you need to. All right, then how do we name a line? Well, we name it by 2 capital letters that are on the line. That's some bad spelling right there. So let's do an example over here and let's get a line going. So when I put points down on this line, and let's call this T and S, that is the name of my line. I can name it line, so I can put line and then TS, or I can put ST. I can also draw a line above the letters, so there's line ST. Also, you'll see this from time to time. There'll be a script letter, like a scripted L, cursive script. So we could also write line L for that line also. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's talk about a plane. A plane is a flat surface made up of points and it extends in all directions. So flat surface made up of points extends all directions. All right, so also a plane, exactly one plane goes through 3 points, but those points cannot be on the same line. So a plane goes through exactly one plane through any 3 points, but those 3 points cannot be on the same line. All right, so I'll show you an example of that too. All right, how do we name it? Well, we name a plane by a scripted capital letter or 3 letters. So let me draw the picture first. Might be more beneficial here. Let me draw a picture of a plane. See if I can tilt it a little bit. All right, so in this plane, it is made up of 3 points. So we can do 3 points in the plane. They just can't all be on the same line. So I can't draw one line and it goes right through that plane. So let's say this is ABC for these points. Then that means my plane is plane ABC. And you could do plane BAC. You can arrange those letters in any order that you want to. Another way to name a plane is there may be a scripted letter in the corner, bottom left, bottom right. This one's in the bottom right, top left. Just look in the corners of a plane. If there's a scripted letter, then you can name it with one letter and just say plane L. But 3 letters must be in the plane in order for us to name them, and they cannot lie on the same line. So I can't be able to draw a line through those 3 points. All right, so let's look at a few more terms and then we'll look at an example. So I just talked about for a plane that we can't have points on the same, 3 points on the same line when we're talking about a plane. There's another word for that, it's called collinear. So when we say things are collinear, we're talking about points on the same line. So if I say points A, B, and C are collinear, I can draw an example of that by drawing a line and putting 3 points on it, A, B, C, or I can draw A, B, C so that they line up in a line and then draw the line through them. You can do that as well. They just all 3 have to be on that line. So like this point, a little far over, so I'll just scoot that guy over there. All right. Make those fatter so that those are on the line. So those lines are collinear on the same line. Coplanar, guess what that means? Yeah, same plane. So coplanar means that they lie in the same plane. So back to my example over here. These 3 points are coplanar. They lie in the same plane. If I had a point out here, like point R, it would not be coplanar with A, B, and C. It is in a different plane, it is outside of that plane. All right, and then the last thing is intersection, and I'm pretty sure you guys know what that means. Intersection means a point where 2 figures meet. They could be 2 lines, it could be a plane and a line, it could be more than 1 point. It doesn't have to be just 1 point, but intersection is what happens when 2 or more figures meet and they have a set of points in common. All right, so set of points that are in common to 2 or more geometric figures. So 2 geometric figures meet, cross, then they're going to have some points in common. Those are intersection points. And it can be 1 or it can be many. All right, so let's look at an example. So go ahead and draw this plane on your paper. And it does not have to be perfect by any means. And we're going to draw some lines through here. Oops, I'm gonna make this the same color so you can see. So when we make lines go through a plane, we use dashed lines so that it comes out behind it, and then a solid line as it comes out behind. So this would be a dashed line, and then as it comes out behind, a solid line, and then that one lies in the plane. So I'm gonna go ahead and label these points. So that's point R. This is point T, where those two intersect. So you see the intersection point. This is Q, and I'm going to put point S over here. So I have two lines that are intersecting. They're also going through a plane. So think about this. You have a piece of paper. You're holding it out in front of you. There's a pencil on top of the paper. That would be line RS, and there are two pencils going through the pencil that's lying on the paper and through the paper. So this would be one of the pencils that's going through the pencil that's lying on the paper and then through the paper to the other side. And then this would be another pencil going through the paper and coming out on the other side. Move this guy back just a little bit. There we go. So we can see where those go through right there. That'll be a little bit better. Okay. All right, so kind of hard to see that maybe because it's a three-dimensional figure that drawn on a two-dimensional piece of paper. So make sure you make yourself a note of that. If you're like, I don't even know what she's talking about, this is crazy stuff, then make sure you ask me when you come to class tomorrow. We'll do, we'll get some paper and pencils and we'll do this figure. We'll show this figure. You can show it to me what you think it looks like, and then I can help you if you need help. Not a problem. All right, so how many planes are in this figure? So remember, planes, 3 points that are not on the same line. So how many planes are in this figure? So we have a couple here. We have R, T, and Q are 3 points. And we have R, T, and S that would be 3 points. They do not have to be connected at all. We could put another point over here like G, and now we have R, Q, and G. We cannot say R, Q, S because it will not make up a plane. But I have Q, T, and R, and we could extend this out. And then I have R, Q, and G, and definitely we could extend the yellow out. So there are 2 planes in this figure. All right, what about 3 collinear points? Can you pick out 3 collinear points? By the way, you can pause this video and figure these out and then start it back up, not a problem. Yeah, so 3 collinear points lying on the same line would be P, Q, and S. All right. Sorry, R, Q, and S. I put P on there. P is out here, by the way. All right, so name 4 points that lie in the same plane. 4 points that lie in the same plane. So you might say R, Q, S, and G. Absolutely. That is a possible answer, sure. All right, 2 lines that intersect. 2 lines that intersect. So remember, we name lines with 2 letters. Right? Name lines with 2 letters. I don't have any scripted letters on here. So let's name lines with 2 letters. So 2 lines that intersect. Line RT and line QT. You could have line PR as well, and you could also have these going the other direction. Let me get that to be a capital T. You could have them going the other direction. You could have TR, TQ if you want to. All right, so you can mix those up a little bit. All right, so what is the point of intersection? So RT and QT are intersecting. The point of intersection is point T. So we follow this line here, this line there. Those are intersecting. You could have also said line RS is intersecting with line PT. They intersect at R. You could have chosen these 2 lines intersecting at Q. A whole lot of options with this problem. All right, Hope that makes sense. Remember to use those blue bubbles in your notebook, or if you made your own, that's totally fine. But write down any questions that you have on the side so that you can come back and ask me when you get to class. All right, guys, this is Coach Lowe, and I'm out.